So this graph right here is a timeline of white women yelling at me. On the x-axis, we are plotting years. On the y-axis, we have the frequency of white women yelling at me. So this dot right here is where it sat the majority of my life, a little bit of yelling. The ones I was in a relationship had a tendency to yell a little more. Around 2013, the frequency of white women yelling at me did start to ramp up a little bit, with that curve getting a little steeper leading up to the 2016 election. Immediately following the 2016 election, we see our first very steep jump. White women were not happy campers in this era, and the yelling at me did intensify. After reaching this peak, the yelling at me did start to drift down a little bit, with a few exceptions, possibly due to yelling fatigue, until we reached COVID 2019. At this point, we did see a big jump in white women yelling at me, almost back to 2016 peaks, with a couple different events giving white women yelling at me a significant boost, leading to a new peak May 15th, 2020, when the Central Park Karen meme hit. As the meme began to take hold, white women initially responded by yelling at me a little bit more, but as they really started to get rocked by that Karen meme and we slide down as some of that defensiveness took away from yelling at me, yelling did continue to drift as it became a little less effective in getting what they wanted, leading us to the 2020 election. Here we have Joe Biden becoming president, and other than a little glitch here January 6th, which led to a little more of me being yelled at, we have a general trending down of white women yelling at me, as most of them felt their work had been accomplished, gave the vocal cards a bit of a rest, and that paired with men uniformly starting to insulate themselves from the really yelly ones on the dating market. We continue to drift down to where we are right here, 2023, slightly below 2019 COVID levels of white women yelling at me. And this is where I generally sit now, with the exception of universities, smaller art scenes, and certain corporate environments where the white women most likely to yell at me have congregated, and those other areas will sit at around 75 to 80% of all-time highs of me being yelled at by white women.